Hey guys, so I know that we started the show a little bit late today. There have actually been a lot of technical difficulties right now, and I don't know if it's because of my internet or something that's going on, but for some reason it keeps saying it's not live on Facebook. So what I think I'm gonna have to do after this is get the recording from YouTube and post it on Facebook. So for all of you Facebook people watching, I am so dearly sorry, and I just don't know why it's working, but I will figure it out. But for all of you YouTube people, hey, I hope you guys are having a good day. So welcome back to Tweendom, the talk show for the kids, the teens, and everyone in between. So this week, like I mentioned last week, is a very special episode because of everything that is going on in 2020 right now, because let's be real, 2020 has been a real crazy year. So what we are actually doing today is I have an amazing teen panel that's actually going to be on the show with me today with a moderator and an amazing special guest. So I'm going to bring them on in a second, but first I wanted to introduce the moderator and our special guest. So moderating today's show, we have Darian Tene, and I've known her for a little bit now. My mom has known her forever, and she's a Broadway actress and is an actress overall, and she's an amazing dancer, and she is like everything entertainment that you can even think of. So I'm so happy that I get to have her moderating today's show. And then afterwards, I also have an amazing guest. Her name is Dr.Crushshon, and she is on the show because she is actually a psychology doctor for majoring for youth. So we're going to have her on the show. She's going to be talking to the team panel as well. So I'm actually going to bring them in right now, and let's see if I can bring them in. Admit all. It may take a second to load here, so let me just see real quick. Okay, I think I have everyone is in here, so I'm just gonna ask everyone to unmute if it works. Okay, so can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, hi everyone.
Hi.
Okay, so I think it says that Darian is connecting to the audio, so I need to see if she's on for a sec. And now it's lagging, so now I need to see.
I must have said Jory Binion.
Okay, so everyone can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Great.
Okay, hi everyone. So actually, I gave a little bit of an introduction, but now I'm going to hand it off to our moderator, Darian, and I'm going to hand it off to her.
Hey everyone, I'm Darian. I'll be your moderator today. Can I introduce everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right, so we have Avery, Kelley, who brought me on today. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Then we have Jace Binion. Hey Jace.
Hi.
We have Zach Myers. Let's see, I can't see Zach. Is Zach here?
Yeah, he was just here. I think something may have went wrong with his internet. Okay.
We'll have Zach back in a minute. And then we have Bianca Brown.
Hi.
Hi. And Dr.Crushshon. Did I say that right?
Yes. How are you?
Excellent. Thanks for joining us. All right, should we get started with our first question?
All right.
All right, I think for us I'll just ask the questions and you have something to say. You can answer, and if we have two people who want to talk at one time, we'll just duke it out, or I'll just choose. All right, so how do you feel, and how have you been affected by the pandemic?
That's a difficult one, honestly, because I feel like at least I personally have been kind of affected in not the best way, because I'm a really huge extrovert. So being stuck in the house because of the fact that I want to keep like my family safe, so we've decided not to go out a lot. It's been kind of hard because I miss my friends and school ended and everything. So I feel like that's been something really difficult when dealing with the pandemic for me.
Yeah.
I feel a little scared because my parents are essential employees. My mom is a healthcare worker, so I get kind of worried that she'll get sick and that she'll also bring the virus home to me and my family, so that's kind of scary. And also agreeing on what Avery said, the fact that I can't see my friends and that I have to stay home, it's kind of difficult.
Jace, what about you?
The pandemic has affected me in many ways. In like the bad ways, I can't really see my friends, and go to the movies or like the mall or anything. But in the good ways, it affected me is I get to like sleep in or play like video games or watch TV a little bit more, or play my phone or something, you know? Yeah, pretty much it.
Hey, Zach, welcome. Zach, our first question was, how do you feel and how have you been affected by the pandemic?
Well, I kind of feel, I'm not sure how to feel because never experienced this before. It's kind of a bit new too. And well, I'm trying to deal with this just well going on with everyday life minus seeing people in person.
Well, now that we've been talking about how we overall feel, and we talked a little bit about sheltering in place, but how do you feel about, how are you handling shelter in place?
Well, I'm trying to just well move on and well mostly just trying to like do life without
Avery, what about you?
I kind of actually like and feel the same exact way that like Zach is feeling because I'm trying to like live my life without going outside because it's kind of like a new normal for me. It was rare that I was in my house a lot. Like I came home, like sleep, and then maybe I watched some TV in my house. But then the rest of the time I'd either be at school or I'd be at dance or doing something like outside of my house. And now I'm not. So I'm kind of just adapting and trying to make it as fun as possible for me at the same time as staying safe with my family because I don't want to go out just because I think that, oh, I want to have a good time or something like that, and then come home and bring it to my family because my family is important to me and I don't want to hurt them. So I feel like going out would do that. So with the sheltering in place, I'm just kind of just trying to adapt to a new normal.
So shelter in place started in about March and now it's June. Bianca, how did you feel in March versus how you feel in June about sheltering in place?
In March, I was kind of panicking because, like Avery said, I am not at all used to staying home. I'm either at school, dance, anywhere but home. So at the beginning, I was really scared, but now I'm kind of like really calm because I found things to do that will make sure that I stay home and not worry about it too much.
What kind of things have you been doing, if you don't mind sharing?
Talking to my friends, taking online dance classes, like looking at videos to dance because I really like to do that, and just asking my friends what they have been doing to stay home but not be as bored as they were.
When you take your at-home dance classes, where do you usually find the space?
Well, we have this like empty space upstairs in my house that I can just go to. It's nothing up there, so I just go up there.
Nice, super nice. What about you? Let's see, Jace, what about you? Have you been sheltering in place? I know you mentioned
Staying at home, like the first few months, it bothered me a little. But now I adjusted and now I just like, I understand, realize that it's for our health and safety. So now, yeah, I just adjusted and I'm okay with it now.
Have you been in contact with your friends?
Yes, I've been in contact with my friends almost like every day.
How do you all communicate?
I talk on the phone, then we like play video games and everything. And then sometimes we talk about schoolwork.
Do you talk
Say
to
that
them
again?
video game?
Yeah.
Cool. I was playing my brother's video game last week and he asked me why I was wearing the headset because I wasn't playing with anyone.
All right.
I just felt like that's what I needed to use. So great. What are your thoughts on the way the school year ended? Let's see, Zach, we haven't heard from you in a while.
I kind of felt sooner than usual which it is, since, well, we had to get out of there and like do all this social distancing, but it kind of felt weird, if you do know what I mean.
What about you, Bianca?
My school year ended really good. It ended way better than I expected because at first we started off really rocky and we weren't used to communicating through the internet. So it ended really good.
Awesome. What about you, Jace?
The school year ended okay with me because I'm good with like technology and everything. So the remote learning and other different platforms that I use is pretty easy to me. And I don't have to sit in like a hot stuffy room all day and other things like that. Yeah.
You don't have to sit in the hot sun room all day?
Yeah, I don't have to do that no more because since we're doing it at home now with the remote learning, I don't have to like, sit in a classroom all day.
Oh, the hot
It
sun
gives me like,
classroom. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. What about you, Avery?
I kind of have to admit that I'm a little bit sad about the way it ended because I'm really good with technology and everything, but because I'm just feel really sad about it because so many people in my class are changing schools and everything, like almost more than half of our class. So I feel like we didn't get to end it on the proper note that we were expecting to. So it was a little bit difficult that way. It was a lot harder, I'd say, at the beginning though. But now, because it's about to be the end, like I end school next week, I feel like it's a lot easier for me. And I've kind of adjusted to doing Google Meets and doing Google Classroom and submitting my work through that. So I feel like it's been a lot better than it was, but definitely not the way I was hoping to end it.
I want to talk to you all now about, I'm sorry, Dr. Crushshon, did you have something?
Oh.
Oh, okay. I saw your hand go up, so I got excited.
I was writing, sorry.
No, it's fine. We were talking earlier about social distancing and the loss of activities because of the pandemic. I know Bianca mentioned dancing. Did you all miss out on any other activities that you were doing regularly before the pandemic?
Well, I'm a baseball player, so I play baseball like year long, and I play basketball too. So when the pandemic hit, all those were like closed and shut down and everything. But now like in like June and stuff, they're like bringing back practices and everything. And when I do go out, I try to put on like a mask or stay 6 feet apart from people to stay safe and do the social distancing thing that they ordered and everything.
I've really been struggling because I can't go to dance classes, and dancing is like the only way that I exercise. I've been trying to run, but it just doesn't work all the muscles like dancing does. So not being able to go to a class has made me squishy. What about you, Avery?
Yeah, I would definitely say for me, it's mainly dance because of the fact that this was like the prime time for dance right now. Like we would have like so many practices like right now. So kind of thinking about that, it makes me like kind of sad, even though there's sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to dance, and then I go to dance anyway. And now since I haven't been going, I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, I miss dance a lot. So also my prime source of exercise. So I'm just sitting here like, okay. But then afterwards, also just some summer stuff that I was gonna do. Like for instance, I was going to Atlanta for a family reunion that I can't do that now. And just some film camps that I was going to. It's just a lot of stuff that's gonna be missed out, more so in the future than the school year. So
were you able to find anything online, like your film camps? Are they doing things online now?
Not the specific ones that I was going to, but actually I found lots of film courses that actually did decide to switch online. And there's this one film program that's called Made in Her Image, and they've had 2 classes so far, and I'm on the second one right now, actually. So I feel like that's been something that's kept me entertained, but also another way to kind of do the camps in the summer. So I feel like that's another thing that I'm able to do in the summer, even though I can't go out.
What about you all? Are you all doing any summer programs online?
No.
No.
Not that I know of as of yet.
Okay. Well, if you're looking for something, I'm teaching with the Goodman Theater this summer, and you can just go to their website and sign up for some of our classes. We're doing theater classes, and you're able to do a performance on your own, and I'm one of the instructors. So if you want to hang out with me, let's see, I'm gonna make sure that we're on time. Great, we have about 15 more minutes of questions. Oh, let's talk about entertainment. What have you all been doing to stay entertained during the pandemic?
I think for me personally, I think it's actually Tweendom has been keeping me really busy.
Okay, that's great.
So I feel like that's something. I'm on the phone with my friends all the time. So I feel like me being able to talk to them really like kept me sane, kind of. Because if I wasn't able to talk to my friends right now, I probably would have gone insane. But I feel like that has been keeping me entertained. I've been watching lots of TV, and then I also have been bullet journaling. So it's like a journal that has lots of like bullet dots in it, and you like decorate it, and it kind of creates like a schedule or pattern type thing. So that's kept me entertained too. And just kind of a lot of that stuff, and writing scripts as well, because I do that all the time. So I've been pretty entertained lately.
Have you been enjoying this extra time you have to work on things that you want to work on?
Yeah, I really think that before this all started, when I thought we were just going to be out for 2 weeks, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be so bored. But actually now I'm kind of enjoying the free time, because I had always been saying, oh, sometimes I wish I had a little bit more free time to just do this or do that. And now I have a lot of time to do it, especially since it's about to be summer and no more schoolwork. So I'm kind of enjoying the free time that's on my hands right now.
What about you all?
Like I said earlier, I play video games with my friends to keep me entertained. I work out with my dad sometimes. I watch YouTube. I watch Netflix. I watch Disney Plus.
What kind of things do you watch?
I watch Flight Reacts. I watch It with McQueen. It's a guy that reacts to things and like vlogs about stuff and everything. And that's pretty much what he does on YouTube.
Okay. What about you, Bianca? What have you been doing to stay entertained?
I've just been, like Avery said, talking to my friends every day. We've been watching movies together. When my mom does have the time off, I'll bake with her or learn some old games with her. Yeah.
What kind of things do you watch on, what were you saying? You watched movies. What kind of movies? What's your favorite one you watched?
I would have to say To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I believe that's the title. Yes, I really love that movie.
And then you were baking. What are you baking?
We've made like icebox pies, banana nut bread.
What's an icebox pie?
So my mom, she makes this icebox pie, and it consists of like pears, peaches, Cool Whip, Eagle milk, all different types of fruits, and you mix it up and put it in pie crust, and you put it in the refrigerator, and you eat it.
Like refrigerator pie.
Yeah.
I was like, what is an icebox? What? But I was like breaking it down into a whole different word than just refrigerator.
Yeah.
Super cool. Really nice. What about you, Zach? What have you been doing to stay entertained?
Well, I've mostly been taking walks, playing some of my video games. Been watching Disney Plus. I've been in some other meetings too, but besides that, nothing else.
Okay. Well, Disney Plus. What do you watch on Disney Plus?
Mostly Star Wars movies and Marvel movies, TV series.
For some reason, when I watch Star Wars movies, I take the best naps. I just have to watch the movie like in 3 sittings because I really enjoy the movie, but for some reason, I just have the best sleep about 15 minutes in.
Yeah, I take naps during Star Wars movies too.
But
like,
I do
Star Wars and Harry Potter for some reason. I've watched a lot of Harry Potter movies, but I just sleep through all of them.
Oh man, sometimes you just need to know what your lullabies are. Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about one of my favorite things to talk about, which is social justice and protests. Have any of you all been involved in the protests? How do you feel about them?
I personally haven't been to one because my family and I were like thinking like, oh, should we go? But we decided not to because at the end of the day, the pandemic is still going on. So we thought, yeah, it'll probably be safer. In my opinion, with the protests as a whole, it just makes me mad that it even had to happen in the first place. So the fact that it even had to happen in the first place is mad enough. Well, makes me mad enough. And I just feel like all of the police brutality that's happening to African Americans, it's not okay. So it makes me really mad. And also as a kid, it kind of saddens me because I feel like there's some stuff that I can't do that I would really love to do because of my age and because of the fact that I need parental supervision for all of it. And so that's just kind of my opinion on it. It's kind of mixed emotions lots of the time though.
Mm-hmm. You said some things that you can not do because of your age. What things are you talking about?
Like I know that I can't, of course I can't go protest because of the pandemic, but also because of the fact that my parents would of course have to be with me. And I don't know if my parents always like would want to go protest because that there has been so much that had even happened during the protests anyway. So that, and also because sometimes for certain petitions that you may want to sign, because of your age, it can sometimes be illegal to do that. So I'm just like, oh, I can't do that either. So I would either have to like post something on social media or like watch a YouTube video that like gets the funds from that goes to an organization or something like that. So I feel like there's lots of stuff that I can't do more than the stuff that I really can do.
Okay. Anybody else? Has anyone found anything that they can do if you can't leave the house and protest? Yeah, what about you, Zach?
So there was a donut shop that well needed some funding, like that was from part of the protests, but it needed some funding, so we were doing a GoFundMe page for that.
Oh, wonderful. What about writing emails to your alderman?
Yeah.
Or writing emails to the mayor? Or talking to your friends about how you all can make up a poem or a song or something where you can do online. There's tons of stuff you can do that you can do in your house. I know I had to look up what can I do. I even Googled that. I said, what can I do to help with what's going on? Because I was afraid to leave the house. I did end up leaving the house and going to a Black and Brown rally, which was really great. To talk about unity between African American and Latinx people, because I think that's really important. But basically, my opinion is there's always stuff you can do. And you actually get like the most creative when you have boundaries that you have to hop over to get there. What has your favorite part been about 2020?
I don't really know. I think it may have been for me All-Star Weekend because
That was February?
Yeah, that was in February. My uncle was here and he lives in Atlanta, so it was kind of nice for him to be with my family because I don't get to see him a lot. So I was really happy that I got to see him and also just around the new year in general, I guess. So like beginning of January and like All-Star Weekend, that was pretty nice for me.
What about, is there any good things happened during the pandemic itself?
I think one good thing that was able to happen for me was Tweendom because I was able to do that. And that's something I had actually been talking about doing like right before the pandemic started, like just like a week before. So we decided to do it kind of as a live stream thing rather than actually being in person like we wanted it to be. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's a good thing that happened, but because it's been happening over the span of 10 weeks, and this is actually the 10th episode, I forgot to mention that.
What? 10 episode? That's crazy.
Yeah, this is the 10th one. So,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it's been 10 weeks. That's a long time.
Yes.
But I feel like that actually overall, that's a good thing that's happened during the pandemic. And this probably wouldn't have happened without it. So there are lots of good things and bad things to it that I kind of realized by the day, like, oh, this wouldn't have happened if the pandemic didn't happen, but would it make my life better or worse? So I feel like there are lots of pros and cons to it.
What about you, Bianca? What was your favorite thing that's happened in 2020 so far?
Even though I wish it would never happen, I would say quarantine, because I just got a chance to relax and become more independent and build my friendships, make them more stronger, and just enjoy life, take my time.
What do you mean by be more independent?
So because my parents do have to work and I have to stay home by myself, you know, I can't rely on them. Like if they were home, I can't ask them this and ask them that, or ask them to go get me this. So I have to just do it on my own, and that's made me more independent.
That's wonderful. What about something good that's happened? Oh, you did say you've become more independent. Anything else really good happened because of the pandemic?
Besides my friendships being stronger, because we had the chance to talk every day and learn things that we didn't really know about each other. Yeah.
That's been happening to me as well. Me and my parents and my brother, we've been having crazy conversations that we've been too busy to have otherwise, which is nice. What about you, Zach?
Well, mostly just well, we had this winter party at our school. It was kind of cool because we got to like spend time with each other. Just mostly have conversation like face to face.
Yeah.
That's
what
probably
about-
the most conversation we had.
And what about something positive because of the pandemic?
Well, like I'm getting more walks in. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm getting more walks in. Because when we were in school, didn't have enough time to get around and walk. But now I have even more time than I did then.
Nice. When you take these walks, do you have a pet?
Yes,
What kind of pet do you have?
a dog.
Is it a big dog, a little dog?
Jack Russell,
A Jack Russell
Really
Terrier?
small.
Is that a big dog, a little dog?
small.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. And Jace, what about you?
The best thing that happened to me in 2020 was when I found out I got into an academic center for next year for 7th grade.
Wonderful, congratulations.
Thank you. And something that was good for me because of the pandemic was probably the time off. Yeah, the time off. I needed a mental break. I had to do sports and everything. That I had school right before it, and then I had some knee injuries and everything else. So yeah, I just needed a little bit more time.
How's your knee now?
It's good. It's good. Yeah. It's good.
Wonderful, really great. I was thinking, have you all done anything that you just never thought you would do because of the pandemic?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I never thought that I would really do. Like, for instance, to be completely honest, I never was the person that really like wanted to try cooking anything because my mom's an amazing cook and my mom somehow can make stuff without flour because she's gluten-free. I'm like, I'll leave the cooking off to you. I mean, you're an amazing cook and you can cook good food, so why do I have to do it? And there was just this one night where I actually tried making tacos, which I thought would be horrible. And it actually was one of the best tacos I've ever tasted. So I'm like, I can do that. So I feel like cooking was one. There's just, I never thought that I would text and call people as much as I do because of the fact that I always was the person that was like, oh, I'm not addicted to my phone. Like I can live without it. I can't live without it. I think I've been able to learn that I text and call people too much and have so much human interaction. Well, not human interaction, but interaction with people over the phone that I just can't imagine myself without it, especially now. So I feel like there's just a few stuff and it has to mainly do with that.
Cool. Anybody else do anything weird? I made some shorts last night. That was cool. I don't know if I'll ever wear them, but I did complete making them. Let's see. Oh, our last question is, what is your least favorite part about 2020?
There's a lot.
You got to pick the worst one.
Oh. It's like each month there's something new. Like it's like a level of some type of game. There's level 1 and there's level 2. And like we're only on level 6. So I don't know what the next will be like.
Have you all seen the original Jumanji with Robin Williams?
I have, yeah.
This reminds me of that so much. It's just like something all the time, especially when they started talking about murder hornets. And I was like,
yeah,
who's playing Jumanji? Please finish, hurry up.
Like I need them to finish the game. I want to go back outside and finish what my year started.
Well,
yeah.
Shut it down. Anybody else? Worst thing you want to share?
Maybe my least favorite thing is the rioting in my neighborhood.
That seems scary.
Yeah.
What happened?
It's just people just marching and looting and stuff. Cause I got like a few stores a block down, and I just like saw people looting and stuff, breaking into stores and everything. But I just like try to not really look at it that much. Try to like stay out of it really. And that's yeah.
Rioting is scary. We've lost a lot of stores by my house because of rioting. But to me, rioters and protesters are not the same people.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way too, because there are like not so many stores because I live kind of far away from the stores that are getting looted, but there are a couple that are like maybe a few streets down that are getting torn up. And I'm just like, that's kind of not what we're fighting for, I guess. Like, I feel like in my mind, I'm kind of thinking like, people are protesting for this, so I don't judge the people that are looting, but I don't understand why. But honestly, I haven't lived long enough to find a place of why. So maybe when I'm older, I'll understand it, why exactly they think that that's the right way to handle the situation. But for now, I'll just sit back and find out what's happening on the news, Instagram, and TikTok for now.
And I mean, there might not be one answer. There might not be one reason why people are rioting, why people are looting. I'm sure there are a lot of different factors. Yeah. All right, well, now we have Dr.Crushshon, and she is going to talk to us about a lot of things.
Hi, everybody. You all are in Chicago. Do you all attend the same school?
I attend the same school as Zachary.
Okay.
I don't attend school with any of the rest.
Okay. What school are you all?
I'll go to
Can you all say
Tene.
that?
If you feel comfortable saying
Okay.
I go to Tene Drew. Language Academy.
I go to Ashburn Elementary School.
Okay. And what about you all? Do you all feel comfortable saying
Yeah.
where you're
Any
from?
answer?
We go to Keller.
Yeah, we go to Kelley.
Okay. Are those schools in the city or in the suburbs?
We're in the city.
I'm in the city.
City.
Okay. So I'm Dr. Crushshon, and I am from Chicago, but I'm actually in Atlanta. I just moved here last year, well, a year and a half ago. But I attended Academy of Our Lady High School on the South Side on 95th and Troop. Just to give you all context of where I'm from Gresham, Auburn Gresham, which is like 83rd and right near Halsted. And I'm going to answer some of the questions that you all answered. I didn't want to jump in because I was taking notes, but I'm going to touch on some of you all's answers and also give you all my answers because I want you all to know that this is a shared experience. But I like to hear it from you all's point of view as well. So during this pandemic, I've been working from home, but I know that it has affected other people who have lost their jobs and or are essential workers. And I've learned that we don't use the word essential because everybody is essential. So frontline workers. My mom and my brother are frontline workers. My brother is actually a Chicago police officer. So I have a view about police and then a different view about police brutality, or maybe the same, but it's a kind of conflicting because I understand that laws need to be changed, and I understand about the rioters and the looters and protesters. And I most likely would have been protesting if I received an email to protest in Atlanta. I have protested before about social justice. I told somebody I came out the womb protesting. And helping us elect the first Black mayor in Chicago, which was Mayor Harold Washington. You know, I was about 2 or 3 when he was elected, but I was with my parents, my mom and my aunt, going door to door saying vote for Harold. So I understand some of the frustration not being able to be on the front lines of activism or protesting due to COVID-19 and some other things, and also having a shelter in place on top of that, and then some more things, like you said, the Hornets. It just seems like everything is crashing. But I also like that we went back to what is going right, what can we do, what is in our power to control, because we may not be able to control the things like the virus, but we can protect ourselves with our masks. We may not be able to go out to physically see and hug our friends, but we can do Zooms. We can start our own businesses. I love youth entrepreneurship. And you started this. So it's so great. We are creative people. We are very artistic, and that is also one of the ways that you can protest, right? By doing art, by speaking, by using your voice, by writing, by emailing, social media, all those things, posting memes. I've reposted some great memes. What else did you all are saying everything that I would probably say. You all have been doing the reaching out. You all have been cooking. I've been cooking more. Dancing. I was a dancer. I need to do more Zumba and yoga now with the online classes like Bianca. I haven't played any video games yet. I don't have a video game system, but I used to play Mrs. Pac-Man. That's how old I am. And we had Atari. I'm not old. But yeah, just trying to connect to your friends and try to get the new normal for you. I think that's probably the hard part, but also when you get into that groove, it becomes easier. So now I have a regular Zoom with my friends like once a week, and I'm texting and I'm on social media way more than I was before because I was always working, just like you all were always in school most of the times. Yeah, just trying to take your breaks and your naps, because sometimes it's not a lot of space when you're at home with the same people. And I know that's frustrating sometimes. You're not used to being with your parents all day long. And you like your friends a little bit more.
Dr. Crushshon, do you have anything to say about having mood swings during this pandemic, of like being really happy and really okay, and then other times just being really sad?
Yes. So all that is normal. It's normal to fluctuate from sadness and crying, as well as being angry and wanting to protest and being angry about the things that you're concerned about. But I like what Avery said about the bullet journaling. We have to get our feelings out. So I think this is one outlet to get your feelings out, because I like the way that you all shared your feelings, your emotions, whatever those are. There's nothing wrong with expressing any of those feelings, whether that's through music, song, dance, journaling, or venting, or even the video now. You can tape yourself expressing your emotions. What I'm using now to help calm down, because I've been having trouble sleeping and other people and my clients have been having trouble sleeping, I use this app called 365, and it actually is, it helps you to relax, and it tells you that your hands are now relaxed and your legs are now, it takes you all the way down your body. And by the time that video is, when that video, the audio is over, which is about 5 to 10 minutes, then I'm sleeping.
That's, for me, it's a Star Wars movie.
Exactly. Another trick is counting backwards.
Counting backwards, okay.
So 20, 19, 18, 17. By the time you get to 0, if you're not asleep, do it again. And you will go to sleep, because it turns your mind off, your thoughts.
I also like to watch Blue Planet. For some reason, watching the animals, watching like the whales and dolphins and jellyfish puts me right out.
Blue Planet, I never heard of it.
Oh, it's wonderful. David Attenborough is the narrator, and his voice is also very soothing. There's also Planet Earth. Really, anything with David Attenborough is great for relaxing. For me.
Yes, I like that. One of my good movies is The Wiz. I love that movie. The black version of The Wiz. There's so many Wizes. It was a remix of The Wiz. I don't really like that one as much, but whichever one you watch, I think it's still good. It has a good message. And so all this time, the people, the Scarecrow, Michael Jackson, and if you watch the old one, and the Lion, and some other people, and Dorothy, they're all looking for something, right? She wants to go home. He wants a heart. Somebody wants a brain, all of those things. But when they finally get to the place where they think that they're going to find all these things, it turns out they already had it all inside. So everything that we think that we need on the outside, external, like with our friends, with our school, with our job, with all those things, a lot of the things that we think that we need or think that we're missing, we have them inside. I think that's what the quarantine has helped me to rediscover. That I have a lot of the coping skills inside of me, and it's not only the things that are on the outside. And I think that also relates to police brutality as well, right? Because we're not talking about skin color, we're talking about character. We're talking about some internal qualities that you cannot turn on and off. And so what does it mean to have integrity, and what does it mean, to be a good person and to treat people right?
Yeah, I really agree with that, because I honestly kind of think that not all police are bad whatsoever. I mean, there are really amazing police, and then there are some that just, for some reason, it's in their character that they believe that because of somebody's skin color, it's okay to treat them differently than someone else. And that personally to me has been kind of made me upset. But then afterwards, kind of realizing the fact that that's not just because of the badge they wear, that's because of their mentality or their character. So I've kind of had to think about that, kind of saying, not all police are bad. You don't have to be afraid of every single one. Of course, you should be cautious, but you don't have to be completely afraid of every single one. Just the character and the mentality of a police officer sometimes. So I've had to think about that, but I completely agree with saying that it's their character.
I really wish that police officers had trauma training, because I know that I've had trauma training with being a teacher, and I have it maybe like 4 times a year, but it's always really nice to brush up and learn about trauma and how it affects different people. And it has made me a more empathetic teacher. So it's like things that might have made me angry or frustrated in the past that I've had to deal with a student, since I've had trauma training and understand that what a student is doing is not personal to me, has really helped me to be more patient and to be more loving to all of my students, even when they make me crazy.
Yeah, they should read the book, The 4 Agreements.
I love that book. I read it twice this year. It's a great book. I need to read it again.
They talk about not taking it personal. It's hard. Somebody just posted a meme that stated that they were in the Malcolm X phase of post-prison, like right after he got out of prison, but they're trying to move into the post-Mecca stage of Malcolm X. And I love that, because when you experience or see, have any of you all seen the video of the police interaction with George Floyd?
I have, yeah.
Okay, I have not, and I will not.
Scared me.
But it will, and it can, not it will, but it can kind of make you hate and or feel so hurt and enraged that you can't move forward in your everyday life if you get stuck there, right? So I think that's what the meme was alluding to, where Malcolm X in his younger days hated all white people. But then later on, after going to Mecca, then he had a change of heart, because he learned, one, you attract who you are, and you can't hate others without hating yourself. It goes inward, right? And so how do we spread love even to those that may not like us, that may be or portray racism or things like that, you know, or prejudice towards us, and or kill or harm us or disrespect us? But there's still ways to love them and forgive them and be angry in a way that is productive, which means changing systems. And you all may not be able to change systems and or sign petitions yet, but you can do petitions in your school, you know, to change things there that may go along those lines as well, that are still pro-social justice. Right? Because we see pro-social justice things that we can do in our lives and our communities all the time. And youth have been very effective in the movement, whether that's on the front lines of the protest and or just changing school things inside your school or your home, or just speaking up or writing an article or doing Tweendom. Like, you all are very creative, so I'm not going to tell you what to do. I know you know what needs to be changed. This generation is actually changing it, actually, right now.
And this is a protest in itself. You sitting down and talking to your peers and talking to me and Dr.Crushshon about these things. This is a protest in itself. I mean, this is educating people who might not have known how this was affecting you and how they feel just about what's going on. So don't think that what you're doing is small because you're not out in the streets being a protester. And think people who actually going to protest has helped me a lot. It helped me leave the house. I was afraid to leave the house. being a protester, I believe that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, which is something that Martin Luther King said. So I feel like every protest that happens, I should go. Because if someone is protesting their rights, I want them to have their rights so that I can have my rights. So when I went to a protest last week, it made me feel a lot better because I felt like I was in my place of fighting for people to be happy and safe and loved. So going to protests, listening to people talk, it made me feel hope again. Like even if this is bad and uncomfortable, at least we're moving in a forward direction to another place.
One of the things that I've done since I couldn't protest was I organized resources and posted them on my website. So you also can share those type of things, you know?
Yeah.
All right, well, we are really out of time. Are there any closing remarks anyone would like to make?
First, actually, because this is something that I do every single episode, is I always check the places that we're actually live streaming to, which is YouTube and Facebook. I know that Facebook was acting haywire, so I don't even know if it's live streaming there, so I hope it is. But I also always check that because there are always people that are asking questions. So I'm going to see if there are actually any questions that people have right now, because I always ask a lot of them. So I'm just going to check real quick. Okay, so everyone said that they're eating more and they're definitely making lots of food, because we were saying earlier that we were cooking. And they said, how do you feel about the school year for the fall and what it may bring? So how do you think school year next year will be a little bit different? For me personally, I'm kind of worried that we may not even go back to school in the fall if the pandemic isn't over. So I feel like for what next year may bring, at the least I feel like there will be some social distancing at least, where we won't be able to have as much like school dances and like other things like that with so many people. So I'm kind of worried about it more than excited for it. Anyone else?
I'm excited to see how they're gonna do this whole school year because of what's been happening. I'm just curious.
Well, for me as a teacher, I just don't know what's going to happen. So I do miss my students, and teaching them on Zoom is frustrating and funny. And I do like seeing where my students live. That's nice. I feel like I get to know them a little better. But yeah, everything's unknown. And like Avery was saying earlier, it seems like it changes every week. So I'm kind of just learning how to go with the flow even more, which is, I think, helpful.
Right now, I think like this doing school online instead of in the classes is better, but they're probably going to be social distancing us and putting us into different groups, like groups of 4, groups of 5, like that. If we do go back to school.
What about you, Jace? How do you feel about school in the fall?
I'd rather just be on a computer. I don't really want to risk it, to be honest, and I don't want to have like hand sanitizer in my pocket every time I walk around and barely breathing with the mask on my face and everything else. So I'd rather just do it remote learning.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for having me. And I think this was a lot of fun. Tweendom is cool.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. So like I say every week, if there are any questions that people have that they really, really want to know, I always say to DM me or go on any of Tweendom or Inspired Melanin social medias. And if you really want to know the answer to it, I can reach out to the guests we had and I will ask them. So thank you all so much for being on the show with me. I feel like this episode was kind of important because 2020 is halfway over, so I feel like kind of at least doing a check-in, or at least even being able to have Dr.Crushshon on here to be able to give some helpful tips about everything that's going on, and that your feelings are okay is helpful for any person that's watching. So thank you all for being on the show, and it means so much to me.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys out of the meeting, but I will see you later.
Bye.
Bye. How do I do this? All right. I think I have to put. Okay, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. I really had an amazing time, and I hope that you guys were able to learn something new during this episode. It was so amazing to have all of you guys, and it was so amazing to have every single one of my guests. They are such amazing people, and I'm so glad that I was able to have Jace and Bianca and Zach on the team panel with me, because we were able to answer some questions, and I'm really glad that I was able to have our moderator, Darian and Tene, on here, and also have Dr. Crushshon. She is so helpful. So also make sure you can look her up, Dr. Crushshon, on any social medias or any Safari browser, anything. And she specializes in psychology for youth. So if you want to talk to her, then afterwards you can look her up. You can look at her website. And also if you want to find Darian, then afterwards you can also look her up on any social medias and online. She has various of programs. And also she even mentioned one she's having at the Goodman Theater this year that's going to be online. So make sure to please check that out, because I know you will probably like it. So thank you guys so much again for watching Tweendom. This was our 10th episode. That is insane. That is mind-blowing. I wanted to let you guys know that next week we actually will not be hosting a show. I will actually be spending time with my family, because Juneteenth is next week, and that's something my family and I celebrate. So therefore, we won't exactly be able to have a show next week. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching episode 10 weeks. Wow, that's crazy. And we've grown a lot since week 1. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in our next episode. So yeah.